I've listened to Ready to Die by the Notorious B.I.G. for months.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the record ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me, the notorious C-O-N-D-O-G, it's Connor.
The Con Dog.
That's right. I'm excited about a Biggie episode. How about you?
I was preferring more of a Smalls episode.
Smalls? Biggie Smalls? Gotta admit, look, the guy's got a lot of names. Biggie Smalls, fantastic name.
Yeah.
Do you know any Biggie songs? You know any of his music? You familiar?
Oh, I'm familiar with the Notorious B.I.G.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you know?
It's one of the few rappers I know.
I didn't realize. I actually had no idea that you knew anything about him.
Yeah. I would say if I was picking... Well, of course, there's Mo Money, Mo Problems. That's always a funny one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd say... I would probably say... it'd probably be something. I'm most familiar with his Ready to Die album.
Of course.
I kind of want to pick something not from that, though, to bring up right now, since we're about to talk about it. Hypnotize is probably a track I would say is a big B.I.G. song I know.
Wow, okay.
That's a more recent one, too.
I remember having a hypnotism era for a while. Not like the song, like actually hypnotism like the practice.
Yeah, being into hypnotism.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am familiar with B.I.G.
What do you know? I didn't know a ton of Biggie until I put this album on. I was looking for more rap in my albums of the month mix one month, and I was like, how have I not done Biggie yet? Everyone talks about him. He's an icon. I gotta go for it. And so I threw him in here. No regrets. Biggie, it surprised me in researching and getting ready for this episode. Couldn't believe that Biggie was born in the early 70s. I mean, I don't associate Biggie with the 70s at all. Obviously, he died in the 90s. So that's the time period he kind of lives in my mind. And it makes sense then if he was 24 that he was born in the 70s. But that just sounds like a ridiculous thing to say. That Biggie was born in Brooklyn, New York on May 21st, 1972.
Yeah.
But his real name was not Biggie. His parents decided, we don't want to name our small baby Biggie. They named him Christopher George Latore Wallace. But, of course, as his future name would imply, Little Chris was not quite so little. He was pretty big from the start. His mom was a preschool teacher. His dad was a welder and a politician, which is quite a combo. But Biggie's dad left the family when Biggie was 2 years old, which meant his mom had to work a second job to support the family. Despite little Chris's upbringing as a Jehovah's Witness, he fell in with a pretty rough crowd at a pretty young age. He saw a lot of drinking, gambling, drug dealing. He actually did go to the same high school as a lot of other hip-hop legends, like Busta Rhymes and Jay-Z, who we talked about in episode 160. Jay-Z also has plenty of autobiographical stuff in his songs about a rough childhood and a kind of a troubled past. But Biggie's early musical influences include like classic legends of soul and funk, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, and then also proper emerging hip-hop artists like Run DMC, LL Cool J, other people that are up and coming in the brand new at the time rap genre. It's this evocative blend that eventually leads to Biggie's own signature sound and style. I mean, you can hear it clearly on songs like Juicy, the soul influence and stuff. But we got a while before we get to all that. Biggie started to be called Big for the first time, no E, just Big, when he was in high school, which is kind of a lazy nickname, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, let's pick one physical characteristic of you and just call your nickname it.
Well, I feel like listen, it's a huge way to do nicknames in like middle school.
Well, that's true.
The other classic thing to do is to give somebody a nickname based on the opposite characteristic, like name a big guy Smalls, right?
It's true. Yeah, I think, Biggie kind of did the best of both worlds. But for now, he's just Big. And during this high school period, Biggie, as a model honor student, he got really involved in dealing drugs and decided to drop out. Kind of took a different career path than he was kind of intending. Biggie would sell drugs, and then he would hide the money from his straight-laced mom. Jehovah's Witness, remember. He would hide the money from drugs up on the roof of their house. She didn't learn that he did that, for years. Obviously, that lifestyle comes with some risks, and Biggie spent 2 years in trouble with the law everything from probation to 9 months in jail. So on the other side of all that, high school-aged Biggie, he's ready to make some music of his own. He's rearing to go. His nickname was Big, but he called himself MC C. West. And along with some friends, he started a little band hip-hop group called The Techniques. That was a little short-lived, but it really whet Biggie's appetite. And that's when he fully became Biggie Smalls. He took the name, ironically, from a character in a 1975 boxing movie called Let's Do It Again. It was pretty cool. I thought he just named himself that because it was ironic and funny, but no, it actually has legit inspiration. He made his first demo tape called Microphone Murderer in 1991. Honestly, a little question mark foreshadowing. I mean, we'll get into the controversy around everything.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's not the first time that there's a little controversial, questionable foreshadowing.
It's true. But also, again, I don't think we're here to stake any claims, but we'll get into the drama later. Microphone Murderer came out. He didn't expect it to get very far as a little demo tape. It was more of a passion project for him, but a local DJ found it and started shopping it around. The tape made its way to the Source magazine, who featured Biggie in their popular section called Unsigned Hype. They featured a lot of artists that weren't on record labels, a lot of new up-and-comers. You know who read Unsigned Hype? Speaking of controversy, music producer, songwriter, and record executive Sean Combs. Who you may better know as Diddy or Puff Daddy.
Yep. Good old... Never mind.
Bad old Diddy. See, Biggie's story is inextricably linked with Diddy's. So, Yikes. We don't, not all about Diddy, but he's just had such a big impact on music. It's impossible to talk about the history of music without talking about Diddy adjacent to him. Like I said, you probably heard about Diddy a lot lately, not for good reasons. He's become very infamous after his 2024 arrest and trial got him convicted of racketeering, sex trafficking, and a lot more. He was just a bad dude. And a bad dude who had a hand in making a ton of successful music, unfortunately.
I say, but he's a bad dude who discovered Biggie Smalls. So
yep.
Even bad people can do something right every once in a while.
Wow, it's pretty wild. By 1997, Diddy was the most successful rap producer of all time, according to the Guinness World Records. He earned a BET Lifetime Achievement Award and even a key to New York City in 2023. Diddy was really good at his job. I mean, he produced big hits by Mary J. Blige, Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey, Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, Jay-Z, Aretha Franklin, J-Lo, Ice Cube, Dream, Limp Bizkit, Method Man, Pitbull, Rick Ross, Kanye West, Pusha T, Burna Boy.
So many.
Diddy's all over the place, and it sucks. It's unfortunate that his influence on hip-hop has been so immense, but I cannot overstate how bad and downright disgusting Diddy has been.
Yeah.
So that's the disclaimer. But anyway, that said, this is all still very early in his career. Biggie is one of the first artists that Diddy ever gets to work with, really. And Diddy gets Biggie signed to the label Uptown Records. He created a song called Party and BS for the comedy film Who's the Man. That song was a huge hit. But in July of 1993, with Biggie's first kid on the way, Diddy gets fired from the label, and Biggie suddenly is on the outs too. The label decided to keep all of his songs and recordings for the time being. They got no access to all the stuff he'd been working on.
Oh, Taylor Swift style.
Yes, a little bit the Taylor Swift treatment. Not quite. Imagine if he put out Biggie's versions of all of his old songs. That'd be pretty cool.
Bigger and better.
Oh, wow. That'd be pretty cool. Either way, he didn't do that. That wasn't quite an option at the time. So it was a major bummer. But Diddy did start up his own label called Bad Boy Records. Guess who his first signing was?
Biggie.
That's right, Biggie.
Biggie.
They gave him a huge $1.5 million advance.
Whoa, that's a lot of money back then.
It's a lot of money now. What do you mean?
I mean, it's a lot of money now. Yeah, well, yes. But just think about that in $1990 or whatever.
That's true. The inflation. Oof. It's a bigger and better amount of money back then. So he gets his $1.5 million advance. He gets a ton of creative control to make his first proper record. Biggie also added a third moniker to the lineup at this time. He's Biggie. He's Biggie Smalls.
Well, of course, you need to add one every couple of years.
You got to keep it fresh. Yeah, so now he adds the Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
You could call it the Notorious Big, but really, it's an acronym.
The Notorious B.I.G.
That's right. The acronym stands for Business Instead of Game. I bet you didn't know that.
I did know that, actually.
Oh, really? You really did know a lot about Biggie.
Yeah.
You might have known more about Biggie than I did. Soon, Biggie's got more hits like remixes What's the 411, Dolly My Baby, and Buddy X. Plus, he's working with Busta Rhymes and LL Cool J on Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear. So he's taken off.
Yep.
For a time, Biggie becomes friends with the legendary Tupac Shakur.
Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also doesn't end well.
No, that friendship wouldn't last forever, to put it lightly, as you'll see soon. But for a while, they became pretty close pals. They would hang out together, they'd take inspiration from each other, they would travel to visit each other when they were in the respective cities, which is pretty cool. Couldn't keep it up, but it was cool while it lasted. And in terms of his personal relationships too, another significant development happened in 1994. Biggie got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, he met his wife, the singer Faith Evans, in June, and they were married by August, which is a wild turnaround. 2 months.
8 days is actually how long it took before he proposed.
He proposed after 8 days. I mean, then a month to plan the wedding, of course.
He had known her for, I believe, 8 days.
That's wild. So life's going good for Biggie. Biggie is poised and ready to put out his very first record, and that's the one we're talking about today. He and Diddy got to work on this debut record in late 1993 at the Hit Factory and D&D Studios in New York City, and they ended up working into June of 1994. It was produced by Easy Mo B and the Hitmen. Their work would, quote, push the rapper to new heights, according to Rolling Stone. Very well-produced album. It's made in a traditional East Coast rap style, which would kind of just add fuel to the fire in a heated East Coast versus West Coast rivalry that was dominating hip-hop at the time. You've probably heard of it. Where do you fall, do you think, on the East Coast-West Coast divide? Do you know? Do you have enough experience yet?
I don't know if I don't know if I want to pick yet.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll be Switzerland in this war.
Just stay neutral. But, I mean, Tupac is the figurehead on the west side, Biggie's the figurehead on the east side, and there's a big rivalry. Whole thing. Biggie's working title for this first record was Teflon Don, inspired by the mafioso John Gotti because of the way that he would dodge his legal trouble. Teflon Don, he's a mafia don, and nothing sticks to him. None of the charges stick, he's Teflon. And that's what he wanted to call the album, which is a little tacky, but he opted for the title Ready to Die instead for that first record, which I think was a great move. Good pivot. Biggie said, when I say I'm ready to die, people may be like, oh, he's on some killing himself stuff. That's not what I meant. I meant that I was willing to go all out 100% as far as the music was concerned. When I was hustling, I was doing that stuff every day, waking up, putting drugs in my pocket, not even thinking about the police, stick-up men, or my competition. I was risking my life, so that meant I was ready to die. Not like hoping to die, really, right? So it's more of I was prepared to die every day when I went out the door. I don't care. You know, I'm risking my life, and that's just part of the job, which is an interesting perspective on it. I feel like I was the same when I just heard the title Ready to Die before I listened to the album or done my research or knew anything about Biggie. Yeah, I did assume it was a little bit of a killing himself illusion.
Yeah.
And, I mean, can you blame me? Look at how the album is structured. I mean, he does kind of commit suicide metaphorically at the end of the album. That's the thread from birth to death. But anyway, so Biggie writes all these songs inspired by real life. He sings about gangs and crime and violence, things that he's really experienced, but he does it in a raw and honest way that, according to the New York Times, plays like a scene from a movie. And that's because his style is so clear and so straightforward, but also like witty and clever and technically impressive. He's got a real knack for rhyme. He can deliver his lyrics with a punch. It's great. Now, obviously, the record ends up a little bit dark and macabre, and with a title like Ready to Die, who could blame it? But his sense of humor still shines through. It's a very realistic look at real life. So they worked on that album for a year, and then it was about time to put it out. Ready to Die got 3 singles, Juicy, Big Poppa, and One More Chance. Those singles definitely had a lot more commercial appeal than a lot of the rest of the album, than the deeper cuts. They did pretty well. Juicy went to number 27 on the Hot 100 in the US. Big Poppa went to number 6. One More Chance went to number 2. So those were all really strong showings that were very quickly certified. And honestly, they've turned out to be some of the most enduring hits from this album. It came out in full on September 13th, 1994, and critics were kind of in awe of it. He was really doing something new in the rap sphere. Robert Christgau said, his music makes the thug life sound scary rather than luxuriously laid back. When he considers suicide, I not only take him at his word, I actively hope he finds another way. So again, it's very realistic, very human, right? He pulls this kind of sympathy out of his audience. Rolling Stone said, from the breathtakingly visual moments of his birth to his Cobain-esque end in Suicidal Thoughts, which, by the way, is a crazy thing to write in 1994.
Yeah, it is. Holy crap.
At least I think that's when they wrote it. I guess it might be a later retrospective review, but I think that's contemporary. From his birth to the Cobain-esque Suicidal Thoughts, B.I.G. proves a captivating listen. It's difficult to get him out of your head once you sample what he has to offer. And the New York Times said, though drug dealing carries tremendous heroic value with some young urban dwellers, he sacrifices the figure's romantic potential. His raps acknowledge both the excitement of drug dealing and the stress caused by the threat from other dealers, robbers, the police, and parents, sometimes one's own. In presenting the downside of that life, Ready to Die offers perhaps the most balanced and honest portrait of the dealer's life of any in hip-hop. So that's wild. Ready to Die moved 57,000 units in its very first week. And by the end of the year, it was certified gold. By October of 1995, just over a year later, it would be certified double platinum. Today, 30 years on, it is certified 6 times platinum. It hit that milestone in 2018. But Ready to Die, it charted at number 15 on the Billboard 200 and number 3 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart. But even more important than its sales and its chart figures, of course, is its legacy. Ready to Die is pretty universally recognized as one of the greatest rap albums ever made. Rolling Stone put it at number 133 on their list of the 500 greatest albums of all time, but by 2020, it had climbed all the way up to number 22. AllMusic's Steve Huey said, the album that reinvented East Coast rap for the gangsta age, Ready to Die, made the Notorious B.I.G. a star. Today, it's recognized as one of the greatest hardcore rap albums ever recorded, and that's mostly due to Biggie's skill as a storyteller. And I think that's true. I think it's awesome. Weirdly, though, Biggie didn't see any royalties at all from Ready to Die for years. In 1995, he still hadn't seen a cent, even though the album had made over $30 million in revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, that's tough. And imagine how much $30 million was back then.
It's a lot of money now.
No, that's true. But it was a lot of money back then. So Biggie's riding high and the music keeps on coming. He formed the hip-hop group Junior Mafia with his childhood friends and other rappers. And of course, because he loves acronyms, Junior Mafia, or MAFIA, stands for Masters at Finding Intelligent Attitudes. Good grief. But they were working on their first record. In the meantime, Biggie also became friends with Shaq.
Yep.
Like, yes, Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player. You know Shaq.
The S-O-N.
Shaquille O'Neal, the son. Yeah, the notorious son.
The son of basketball.
Man, I saw an Instagram reel the other day where 2 guys made a bet on the number of Shaqs they would find, and then went out to stores to try and find how many pictures of Shaq they got. They guessed 8, and I was like, no way. And they found so many Shaqs. He's on everything. He's advertising for everything now.
Dude, he's done a lot. Yeah, didn't he go to school for business?
Maybe.
I think I remember seeing an interview about him going to school for business because he knew that basketball wouldn't last forever. So he went to school for business so that he could then have a career after basketball.
He had a career during basketball too. I mean, I think I heard that too, but he does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even in this time, Biggie makes a song with Shaq called You Can't Stop the Rain.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in later days, Shaq's gone on to be a pretty solid DJ. So can't argue with results.
Well, you can. It's just not going to go well for you.
I mean, that's true. Can't win an argument against results. But that wasn't his only collab. He also worked with the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, on the song This Time Around.
Twice.
Yes, and then another time around, too. And later on, he'd work with Jay-Z on his debut. Pretty cool.
It was in 1995, with This Time Around. And then 10 years later, Michael Jackson, on his Invincible album, used a verse from Biggie Smalls' Getty.
Yeah, but that's not the same as collaborating with him. That's him collaborating with your estate.
Yeah, it's correct. But Michael Jackson hardly ever worked with hip-hop artists. So to do it twice, even with one being posthumous.
That's a B.I.G. deal. So that's great. Everything's sunshine and roses when you're looking in the bubble. But outside of the bubble, things are pretty tense in the hip-hop world. And the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, it's reaching its boiling point. Biggie's former friendship with Tupac had run its course. And now the two were rivals, kind of sworn enemies. Tupac gets shot 5 times during this robbery.
Yeah.
Tupac catches 5 bullets, and he accused...
5 strays.
Not strays. He didn't catch 5 strays. They were shot at him. I mean, Tupac was the target, but he accused Biggie and Diddy of having inside info about it, of orchestrating it or being in on the shooting, and that's not cool.
No, it's not. But knowing what we know now, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had some inside knowledge.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Diddy has been in some hot water.
Knowing what we know now, not out of the question, character-wise.
Yeah. But Biggie, I don't know. Biggie denied it. Biggie seems really sincere.
No, not Biggie.
About all of his things about Tupac. I mean, I guess he's adjacent to a lot of bad people. I kind of feel like everything I know about Biggie, like he's a good guy, just in a bad situation. Diddy, I can't say the same. He's a bad guy in a really good situation.
Right. I'm just saying, if one of the two of them were to know about it ahead of time, I know who I'd put my money on.
Yeah. But Biggie denies it. Biggie says, I had nothing to do with that. It just happened to be a coincidence that he was in the studio and he couldn't really say who really had something to do with it at the time, so he just kind of leaned the blame on me. Fans couldn't let it go. And Biggie, of course, put out a song called Who Shot Ya? That was a mistake, all things considered.
Yeah.
Iconic song, but fans started reading into that. They said, Who shot ya? That's meant to provoke Tupac. It's a song all about him. Who shot him? But no, not really. That song was around before Tupac was shot. So, I don't know, it was a whole mess. But Biggie held his head high. He started working on his second album. That work that he was doing was complicated by a pregnancy scare from an affair, injuries, the feud, of course, and another arrest, actually, after assaulting some fans. Then he was rung up on drug and weapon possession charges. That's not great, but he's trying to work on this record. Meanwhile, Tupac is still in the studio putting out diss tracks aimed at Biggie and the entire East Coast scene. He provokes back, and then Tupac gets shot. What do you know about Tupac getting shot?
I also know a decent bit about that, too.
Wild. You're really in the know on this. That's so surprising to me.
My era of rap.
I didn't know you had an era of rap.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to lean into that more. Yeah, Tupac is infamously murdered in a Las Vegas drive-by on September 7th, 1996. And allegedly, Biggie is to blame. There's a lot of swirling controversy around the Tupac murder, even still. Apparently, and again, allegedly, we're not making any claims here, but the Crips carried out the shooting and Biggie might have paid for the gun. There's also, though, potential proof that Biggie was in the studio in New Jersey, but there's evidence that might have been fabricated. It's all pretty fuzzy. No one really knows, and the murder's 30 years old. It's probably going to stay unsolved, but...
Yeah, it's nuts. Now do you understand why I'm staying neutral in the east side, west side?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And picking sides. Bodies be dropping.
Totally. You can't pick sides. But Biggie, I mean, he's shaken up by this. Tupac, yeah, they didn't get along, but absolutely. I mean, they were friends for a while. Biggie's shaken up and deeply shocked by the murder. So he expressed really sincere sympathies and grief, but he didn't go to the funeral because, of course, he said Tupac made my life miserable, told me lies, screwed with my marriage, turned my fans against me. And you can't really fault him for that. I don't know. And plus, I mean, I guess a lot of Tupac's loved ones and friends would be pretty outraged if the alleged perpetrator of his murder turned up at the funeral, right?
Yeah.
That would not be very good. So it's probably fine that he stayed away from the funeral. I wouldn't take that to be any kind of indication of anything.
Yeah.
Either way, Tupac is dead.
Yeah.
Old Tupac was dead as a doornail.
It's a shame.
It is a shame.
Very controversial. Is it still today?
Yeah, the rivalry has turned very publicly bloody, and Biggie still has work to do. I mean, he's still in the middle of this album process. But things are complicated, right? His son CJ was just born, and he's still working on Life After Death, which would go on to be his sophomore album. He finished that work in January of 1997. The album was slated for release in March. Biggie was promoting the album, filming music videos, working on some tracks with Diddy, and he's preparing to receive some awards. So he's out in LA for the Soul Train Music Awards. You'll notice that's an East Coast hip-hop icon moving to the West Coast, where all of this has just gone down.
Yep.
He was leaving the Soul Train Music Awards after party early on March 9th, 1997 in a caravan with, by the way, honestly, a lot of bodyguards. I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 security guards in other cars with him.
Not enough.
It's not enough. A black Chevy Impala pulls up alongside the caravan while they're at a red light. They roll down the window. They shoot Biggie 4 times. He was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead at 1:15 in the morning. Biggie was just 24 years old. 24. It's an unbelievable tragedy.
Yeah.
It's possible, if not probable, that the shooting was some sort of retaliation for Tupac's murder the year before. But it's, again, likely that we'll never really know.
Or connected in some way, or just completely separate. I mean, there's so many different theories about just that whole time period.
Yeah, we'll just never know. And they never caught anybody. They never really did anything. There's no resolution. Much like Tupac's murder is unsolved, Biggie's is similarly murky and unclear, which is a shame. His funeral, though, was attended by some real legends. Busta Rhymes, Flavor Flav, Mary J. Blige, Queen Latifah, Run DMC, Salt and Peppa, and plenty more, of course. And in the wake of his murder, 16 days later, his now posthumous sophomore album, Life After Death, was released.
Which, again, what a nuts title, seeing how it all happened.
Yeah, but honestly, what a great title, too. To make your first album Ready to Die, and then your second album, Life After Death, is incredible. But it obviously took on such a different depth of meaning after this murder. It's not the album we're talking about today, of course, but it was huge. It quickly went 4 times platinum. It was the best-selling rap album of all time on release. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, and its singles made Biggie the very first artist ever to have 2 posthumous number 1 singles on the Billboard charts. And like you said, yeah, he's also been posthumously featured on tracks by Michael Jackson and by Diddy, and he's had some archival recordings, some vault recordings of his stuff have come out in the decade since. The latest drop of mostly new Biggie stuff actually came out in 2017.
Yeah.
A duet album with Faith Evans, who he was married to for a little bit there. Did you listen to any of it? I guess I didn't think I'd have to ask, but now I'm curious.
I didn't. I don't know. How good could it be?
It could be great. But fair enough. I understand what you're saying. So Biggie's got quite a legacy, even in his tragically short 24 years and over only a decade of actually recording. He changed hip-hop forever, and he's gone down as one of the genre's most enduring icons. Some, to this very day, call Biggie the greatest rapper of all time, and he's got some awards and accolades to back it up. He's earned 3 ASCAP awards, even as recently as 2020. He's got 3 Billboard Music Awards, an MTV VMA for Hypnotize in 1997. He's also been nominated for 4 Grammys, though he never won. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2020, and he's earned 2 Soul Train Music Awards on 4 nominations, plus plenty of other stuff. So suffice it to say, I mean, Biggie, he's a Biggie in the hip-hop world, literally and metaphorically. In every sense of the word, Biggie is an icon. So that's what I've got on Biggie Smalls to start out with. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot more over the course of this album. And of course, we're going to talk about at least 4 new things over the course of some Factor Spin.
Of course.
Everybody give it up for them. Not to shove you out the door. Sorry, I feel like every time I introduce the Mixtaper really quickly, I'm just kind of shoving you to the side, Connor.
No, it's fine. My bagel's here, so I'll go get that.
Your bagel? Did you DoorDash a bagel?
Did I say here? I meant ready. I gotta go get it.
You did say here. That's a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. I'm gonna go get it.
Okay, well, go get your bagel from the toaster or the driveway, whichever may be the case. Let's get the Mixtaper on out here for some Fact or Spin.
Hey, it's me, the Mixtaper.
Hello, Mixtaper. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Ready to lie?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to lie.
Wonderful. Well, I'm ready to call you out on it, I hope. I don't know. Maybe you should play this one against Connor. I mean, he's got way more Biggie knowledge than I do, apparently.
Yeah, it's true. I'm glad I'm not playing against him. You know, I'm the notorious DASTARD.
That's a bit of a mouthful. What's that stand for? Is that an acronym?
Yeah, but I can't tell you what it is.
Oh, it's a secret?
It's against the rules.
The rule?
Yeah, it's a secret acronym.
Well, what 4 things are we going to learn about Biggie today? Are they going to be Biggie things or Smalls things?
Well, you'll have to find out. But first, I have to make a public service announcement.
Oh, yeah. Thought that was more of an Eminem thing.
Yeah, but just got to get out in front of it and say we are a family-friendly podcast.
That's true.
But that doesn't mean every artist we do is a family-friendly artist.
That's true.
And therefore, be warned going into this round of Factor Spin. We might be going into some non-family-friendly territory.
Oh, goodness.
I usually try to keep it clean, but it's a little hard to do this week.
Okay. Get ready. I'll get my censor bleep ready.
You're gonna need it. You can hear the Notorious B.I.G. receiving or
There's gotta be a better way to put it than that.
bleep as many of those words as you need to. Here, let me come up with something. Hang on. You can hear the Notorious B.I.G. having Is that better or worse?
No, that's worse. I think you could hear him engaging in explicit activities. Is probably
Yeah, but the key is it's specifically I mean
yeah, but I think the context will come out as we're talking about it.
Oh, okay.
I assume.
Okay, you can hear the Notorious B.I.G. engaging in explicit activities.
Wow. So in a song, I assume.
Yeah.
Yikes. What song?
At the End of Respect, which is on the album you guys are talking about today.
Yeah, so we are. It's a very significant part of the song. I just assumed it was not real.
According to an interview with Puff Daddy, P. Diddy himself, he claims that is actually Biggie Smalls having some fun for real in the studio.
Wow. Okay. I don't want to ask any more questions. I don't think. I feel like this is pretty cut and dry. This is either real or it's not. I don't know, man. It goes on for quite some time at the end of that song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm thinking back to like Eminem doing his skits that were kind of similar. I mean, that was fake. I know that was in 2000, right? That was a little after this. Surely it's fake, right? Sure, it's gotta be fake. That I guess Diddy could claim it's real, but I don't know if I believe anything that man says. I think this is a spin. I think that's fake. I think it's bold of you to bring it, and I think that you're kind of leaning on me thinking that you wouldn't lie about it because of its adult nature.
This is, take it with a grain of salt because of who's claiming it, a true fact!
Oh my gosh,
As best as I can tell, it's a true fact.
Well,
But again, the unreliable narrator.
I don't like that. I hate that. Yeah, okay, that's awful. That's where we're starting?
Well, I wanted to get it out of the way in case you knew it. Because if you knew it, I had a backup.
Oh, you just want to throw that one in there just in case? Just in case that one was a little much. You didn't want to start with a... Whatever. Okay. Good on you for being prepared.
Well, in case it was a little much, you knew it, or like you're like, no, we can't go there. I had a backup, but I just want to get it out of there.
Well, if I had known you had a backup, I might have just said, let's just pivot. Ugh.
We're not done.
No, of course not.
In fact, let's just go ahead and do all 5. Let's do the backup.
Not a bad idea.
Why not? Because the backup, I mean, it's a little better. He signed a rapper while in bed.
Interesting. Well, who's the other rapper?
Cam Ron.
Okay.
Cam, Ron.
I can't say I'm too familiar.
Yeah, he was signed via Biggie in kind of a ridiculous circumstance.
Well, I mean, in bed, yeah. What's the ridiculous circumstance?
Well, you see, Biggie had broken his leg or something like that at the time.
Something like that. You know, leg breaking or other similar injuries.
Yeah, some sort of leg injury. So he was laid up in bed and able to like walk around or move, and he had 2 girls with him in bed.
Okay.
And those girls were, you can imagine, whatever attire you'd like for what they were wearing.
Sure, yeah. Probably fun hats.
Fully dressed. What they actually were not wearing, you know. Your dealer's choice. And yeah, he had to rap for him for like 25 minutes straight while he was just laid up in bed, and then said, apparently Biggie said, "You can stop now, you dope. I want to F with you." Okay. Signed. Sorry. I know this is like a real amateur move, and I know we're talking about labels and all this stuff all the time. Literally so much. And we're a record ranking podcast, and it's like the occupation that I work in, it's relevant. So it's totally a faux pas on my part that I misunderstood that you said he signed a rapper in bed, that he like autographed a rapper. Oh.
Because you've had so many facts lately about, sign the urn, sign the thing, sign the personal hygiene product.
I see.
Sign this.
I understand here. Yeah.
My brain at first went, Biggie signed, and I was like, oh, cool, another weird autograph. And then you said a rapper while in bed. Got it. So this makes a lot more sense to me now. Biggie was in bed, broken leg. Rapper has to come in and audition for him in very strange circumstances. Biggie says, "You're in." Love it. That makes way more sense than whatever the heck else. Okay, I think this is a fact. That's all on me. I own it. I think this is true, but I feel dumb.
This is a true backup fact.
Hey, a true backup fact. I like it a lot better than the first one, even though it still had some questionable elements.
Yeah, the first one was more wild and more relevant to the episode.
Yeah, it was. That's true.
So let's tone it down a notch.
Please.
For a second.
Please, I'm begging. Maybe 2, 3, 4 notches?
Yeah, we'll go several notches. Now let's go back to when Biggie was in school.
Literally.
Yeah. Got his first exposure to dissing, something he became quite good at, when he dissed his teacher, Biggie dissed his teacher.
Nice. Like in a normal speaking sense or like in a rap battle kind of sense? Like a diss track?
In like, she tried to throw shade his way, and he clapped back.
Oh.
Sort of way.
Not a sugar sweet clap back like we had a few weeks ago. Kind of a...
No. This one was a full-on smackdown.
A full-on smackdown clap back. What did the teacher say to him? First of all, set the scene.
Well, first off, Biggie was actually quite smart in school. He got like all A's.
That's right. Honor student.
Yeah, but he was rolling with a bad crowd, I think you mentioned as well.
Yeah.
And a teacher told him that he would likely end up as a garbage collector when he was older.
Dang. I mean, no shade. Garbage collecting is an important job. People have to do that. Makes good money.
Yeah, but it's not a very glamorous job.
No, it's certainly not.
So I think she threw it with shade. It's like, if you don't get your act together, this is what you're going to turn into, sort of thing.
Definitely shady. And Biggie probably doesn't like that.
No.
What's he say back?
Well, he went home and did some research that night. Not sure how one does research back in that time period.
He pulled out his encyclopedia.
Yeah. But either way, he came in the next day with some interesting statistics.
Oh, he's got the facts to back it up. And you can't argue with facts. Well, you can.
You can.
But you can't win an argument against facts.
Exactly.
That's what I've always said.
So he comes in the next day and he, in front of the whole class, says, "Hey, teach, you said I was going to turn into a garbage collector. Well, a garbage collector starts at $29,000. A teacher makes a starting salary of $22,500. You said some of us here are going to be garbage collectors, but we're going to be making more money than you, so that's cool."
That's pretty brutal. That's a pretty solid diss.
Kind of put his own teacher in their place.
Think about how much money that is. I mean, that's a lot of money back then.
That's a lot of money now. Wait, no, it's not.
Well,
not in today's economy.
I'd rather have it than not have it.
That's fair.
Wow. I love that. I think that's also true. That makes sense to me. Totally understand the pay discrepancy. I mean, I said right from the jump that it's a money thing.
This is a true fact.
Yeah, it is. I bet that teacher was not happy about being clapped back to in such a manner.
But now it's time to ramp back up a little bit.
Oh, of course.
Not all the way back up, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We can move up a little bit from the elementary school.
Yeah, and let's talk about how his mom threw away his mashed potatoes.
His mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Are you talking about actual mashed potatoes? Like the food?
Well, that's what she thought it was.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What is it really?
A little bit of crack.
Just a little bit.
Well, a decent amount of crack.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah.
Well, if it's enough to look like leftover mashed potatoes, probably a lot. Honestly, he's probably lucky she thought it was mashed potatoes, I think. And it's honestly also probably lucky that she threw them away and didn't, like, fix them up for dinner. Like, man, these mashed potatoes are really good. They're like crack.
Yeah.
And Biggie says, "Oh, Mom, not like." Okay, so what's the circumstance? Are they in a public space, a fridge? Like, why did she find these and throw them away?
No, he left them on the windowsill of his bedroom, and his mom went in while tidying his room and saw it and thought it was mashed potatoes and threw the mashed potatoes out.
Were they in like a dime bag? Like what?
I assume they were on a plate or something.
Plate.
Yeah, I left a plate of crack on the windowsill.
Okay, plate makes a ton of sense. Yeah.
He and a buddy were chilling downstairs when she walked in after the fact and said, quote, "Yo, you can't leave dirty dishes lying around. Hard mashed potatoes on the plate? Come on."
Oh my gosh.
And then that's when they looked at one another and said to each other, "Oh crap," but they didn't say crap. She just threw it away. And then they went to the trash can and scavenged the crack back out.
Oh, they dug it out. I was about to say, how much do you think it was worth?
They dug it out, and it was covered in barbecue sauce.
Salvageable?
And they still got rid of it.
Wow.
If you get my drift.
I guess he was a really good drug dealer. He was able to sell that.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
And did you have a number for how much it was worth? How much they could have lost?
I do not have a number for that.
But think of how much money that was back then.
Yeah, it was a lot. Probably think about how much money it is now.
Unfortunately, no matter how much money it's worth, it's the same amount of crack. I think this is also a fact.
Also a fact?
I think I could see that happening. Honest mistake.
This is another true fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, parents, moms, if you're out there listening to this, always check the mashed potatoes before you throw them away. You save your kids a lot of trouble, just in case. And then, do what you will from there when you find out whether they are mashed potatoes or not. That's wild. I can't believe that's true.
I know, it's nuts. And now for our final one. since we threw in the backup fact.
Final ramp.
And we're cooling back off a little bit again.
That's good. I honestly don't know if we could have ramped possibly any higher than we started.
Yeah, or I guess getting a little spicier depending on your flavor preference.
Uh-oh.
He had his own restaurant.
He had his own restaurant.
Biggie had his own restaurant.
Okay, not spicy in like a non-literal way. Thank goodness. What was Biggie's restaurant? I mean, we talked about Flavor Flav's failed chicken shack that he opened in the middle of Iowa.
Yeah.
Right? A place where Flavor Flav and fried chicken shacks are obviously big hits. What's Biggie's angle?
Yeah, he opened a Brooklyn barbecue joint called Notorious BBQ.
I always thought you were going to say Notorious P.I.G. I was like, well, that's pretty good.
Oh, P.I.G. also pretty funny.
I think that's better than Notorious BBQ, but it's a little on the nose.
Yeah, I think it is too.
On the snout, maybe. Wonderful. Well, how'd it go? I mean, when I think of barbecue, I admit, don't think of Brooklyn.
Yeah, me neither, but you was East Side, so.
Well, was it any good? I mean, how did it go? Did people like it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't have any reviews, but all of the menu items were named after his songs, including a special rib platter called the Juicy Rib Platter. That's all I really got.
That's it. Okay, I think this is where we're going to have to pivot. This is you being ready to lie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think this is true.
You're going spin on this one?
Yeah, I'm going spin. I think the name is fun, but there's too many puns. Notorious P.I.G. I thought of right away. It's too many plays on words to go with Biggie and barbecue. And I don't know, man. He only had one album of songs out by the time he passed away for there to be puns about the names of things on the food. That doesn't seem like something he was really super into in 1993. I don't know how well a Brooklyn barbecue restaurant would have done in 1993. Now, maybe there is a restaurant that's themed after him that probably opened after his death or sometime posthumously, but I'm not so sure he had anything to do with it. I think I'm going to say this one's a spin. Plus, barbecue is one of the most rivalry embroiled foods, right? There's regional variants of barbecue. There's different cities have their own barbecues. Like, it's a rivalry food. And Biggie's a guy that's known for this East Coast, West Coast rivalry. It's also suspicious.
Yep.
So I'm calling it a spin.
Yeah, I thought it might be a little too suspicious to get past you.
Well, I don't like when you start out like that.
And this is a spin.
Oh, it is?
This is a spin. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
This is a spin. I also went through several different 3-letter acronyms for the name.
Oh, what are the rejects?
Well, PIG. It was really just those two, I guess.
I went through all the acronyms. The one I told you and the one that you said. Wow.
Well, for acronyms, I did try to come up with some other name ideas with his other monikers. I don't know. I just went with BBQ because I was like, it's a funny pun, but it's not on the nose like PIG.
Yeah, exactly. And
it tied in nicely with the barbecue on the mashed potatoes.
True.
From the previous fact.
That's true. It was relevant. Juicy rib platter was pretty good, but this fact was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Well, I should have had you swap out facts from the beginning. I would have had a perfect week.
Yeah. But I'm glad we kept it in because it's a wild one.
It is.
And it really set a weird tone for the round, which I like.
It did set a weird tone. Yeah, for the whole thing.
Well, I guess it's time for me to get on out of here. Looks like Connor's back with his bagel.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole bagel thing. He went to go get a bagel, had a bagel delivered.
I don't know. He just likes bagels.
I know he does. Yeah, we'll see you next week, Mixtaper. Have a wonderful WEEK. This stands for Week Eek Ek.
Yeah.
There he goes, the notorious DASTARD. Welcome back, the notorious CONDOG. Like I said at the beginning of the episode. How's that bagel?
The con dog. It's pretty good. It was tasty.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about this album art. It is a small baby with an afro, the notorious SMALL. It's kind of ironic. There's a real interesting message behind, I don't know, putting a baby on the album cover of Ready to Die. Like maybe he's trying to say he's been ready to die since birth.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be emblematic of how the whole album kind of chronicles a version of his life story. It's an iconic album cover, either way. And I feel like it's gone on to like inspire, right? We talked about on The Carter 3, how Lil Wayne's baby picture is there, but it's obviously fake tattoos and not really him. I mean, that feels like it all started kind of with this. I wonder if that's really Biggie.
Probably not, I would think.
I'd also think, but I don't know. He's got a lot more hair than Biggie does.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot of songs to talk about today, so we should probably dive right into it. A lot. Because we're going to talk about the whole 17-track album, but then also, probably worth talking about Who Shot Ya, and as much as I don't like it, just playing, because it was on the remastered version of the album. But we start with the intro, and the intro and Suicidal Thoughts are interesting because they turn this album that's otherwise not really a concept album into a bit of a concept album. Because intro starts with Biggie being born. Like, literally, it's a skit. His mom's having contractions. You can hear his parents fighting and arguing. And then we kind of progress all the way through his life until the end.
Yeah.
What did you think of the intro? Did it surprise you? I mean, what was that like for you, Mr. Doesn't like talking in songs or interludes or...
Yeah, I feel like it's okay if it's at the first track, because it's almost like an intro like this, right? I'm not fully into the album yet. I haven't really started listening to any of the music yet to get into that mood.
That's true.
So I feel like if you're going to do it, the beginning or the end is the place to do it. More likely the beginning or the end, honestly.
Yeah, now is the time. And it's interesting, too, because Biggie kind of pays homage to his earliest musical...
Homage.
Yeah, he pays homage. Goodness. He pays tribute. There, we'll go with an unambiguous word. Tribute to all the musical influences that he had growing up. If you listen closely, you can hear little samples of Rapper's Delight, which is the first rap song ever by most estimations. You can hear Snoop Dogg's The Shiznit and some of Curtis Mayfield's Superfly. A lot of the music that Biggie was influenced by growing up is in here, and that's awesome. The song ends with him in jail. I mean, getting out of jail. But it's wild that in this 1 3-minute song, we go from his birth through his teenage years all the way through a bank robbery, a holdup, to back out of jail. And that's, I mean, literally where we pick up the story of this album. That's what's happened in his life to this point. And then we start talking about things done changed. Life on the streets has evolved. Biggie's grown up and he looks at the world around him and he sees all the ways it's changing for better and for worse, which is a great song to follow this narrative of like birth and getting through this part of his life. He gets out of jail and he looks around and he says, whoa, the world is so much more different than it was when I was a kid. This is really the first time I get to hear him rap.
First time anybody gets to hear rap.
Well, I mean, he did some singles and stuff, but it's true. This is his studio album debut. I love his voice. It's so unique and like distinct, and he's got so much energy behind it. He really like projects with vigor. And I think that's one of the things that's the coolest about him as a rapper. It's like he's yelling at you the whole time, but his yelling is nuanced. I just love that little sample, that little chorus back in the day. His rhyming is also really unparalleled. Like, it's simple. He doesn't use any like tricky language, but he just sings how he knows it. And I don't know, he just does really good stuff.
Yeah.
Lounging at the barbecues, drinking brews with the neighborhood crews, hanging on the avenues. That's awesome. And it flows so well. It's so seamless. It's just one of his strongest qualities for sure. Then we kind of move from that reminiscent, like nostalgic sort of song about how life used to be into another stick-up song, Gimme The Loot, about stick-ups, robbing people.
I quite liked Gimme The Loot.
Gimme the loot, gimme the loot, yeah.
It also is a song I wish I knew about when I was playing, like, Apex Legends and going around looting everything all the time.
In, like, a game, you can say that to all your teammates.
Yeah.
Give me
the loot.
I mean, you did say it.
Give me the loot.
It just wasn't an intentional reference to this.
Yeah. Like, if I was a streamer playing a lot of, like, Battle Royale games like that, I'd absolutely have this song queued up. I mean, I know you'd get, like, copyright struck, but still. So that every time I finished a fight and actually won it was time to go loot, I could just start playing it.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot. I didn't even think about that. What gets me about Gimme The Loot, aside from, yeah, it is darn catchy, that little trumpet part in the beginning that you can hear faintly in the background, that reminds me of like Banjo-Kazooie. Just the way that Kazooie sounds when she runs. That's just what I hear when I hear that part. It's just another song where he's yelling all over the place. Now, you hear two voices in this, right? He's kind of acting like there's two robbers doing the stick-up job together, and there's two distinct voices. A lot of people wondered who that was. Who's the other voice? Who's he rapping with? It's not credited, but it was him.
Oh.
Biggie did both voices. He was just so good at making a second voice, and his first voice is so unique that people didn't even recognize it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? Producer Easy Mo B said he just went in the booth, and then it kind of just happened. He started doing it. He would do one voice, then come behind and do the other one later, and just leave a gap so he could come back and fill in the spaces. I was like, yo, that's creative. And he really had cats fooled. Even just last year, I don't know when he said this quote, so I don't know what year that's referenced to, but it was a while later. Even just last year, I was around somebody who was playing that, and still after all this time, he was like, was that Puff? I said, that's him. He did 2 voices. That just shows you how good he was. So that's awesome. Here's my secret, though. It's time for me to confess. I do both the voices on this podcast.
Whoa. Hang on. There's 3 distinct voices on this podcast done by 3 distinct individuals.
Oh, I forgot about the Mixtaper. That's true. Well, okay, you got me. It was a lie anyway. It was a spin.
Nobody does 2 voices.
No, but what a song. I love Gimme The Loot.
I think my favorite part of the song is right around the 250 mark with the from the Beretta putting all the holes in your sweater, the money getter, mother effers, no the peta, Rolex watches, the colorful swatches, I'm digging in pockets, MFers can't stop it.
Yeah.
I just really like the cadence to that.
What's the next line?
I think we'll stop there. No. I stopped where I stopped.
Yeah, right. Wow, it is such a song.
Yeah.
Then another one that's got a really cool repeated moment in it, Machine Gun Funk. Biggie called this song one of his favorites. And unlike Bad Bunny a couple weeks ago, it's not like every song is his favorite. This is genuinely one that he really likes. Initially, the song sampled Something Extra by Black Heat and Up for the Downstroke by Fred Wesley, though the second sample never cleared, so it got edited out in some versions of the song.
Oh.
Yeah. This song, it's just got a good beat, and then I really enjoy the live for the funk, die for the funk.
Yeah.
There's a cool trumpet behind it that really makes that a compelling moment. He just carries a gun to stop people from getting all up in his business. And I guess if you're doing that, you gotta be ready to die, in the sense, that, hey, guess this is it. This is another song that would really be a contender for the repetitive award. There's a lot of living and dying for the funk.
There sure is.
I feel like I already know what song I want on the playlist, but Machine Gun Funk and Gimme The Loot would both be on my short list.
Yeah, I definitely agree to give me the loot. I think I could easily knock Machine Gun Funk off the playlist list.
Whoa, before you say something like that, you gotta give me a warning.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good song.
Yeah. Warning is up next. It's another song that leans into kind of a skit sort of thing. He builds these songs around concepts that kind of float between skit and song, and Warning is one of those. Biggie does 2 characters once more, himself and then a friend trying to warn him about a threat against his life, an attack that's coming up, and that's why it's called Warning. It was the second single. Originally, it was back-to-back with Big Poppa to make a double A-side.
The Notorious B.I.G. Poppa.
That's right.
Whoa, the Notorious B.I.G. Poppa Roach.
Whoa, what a mashup.
Little triple threat.
Too bad that one never got to happen. What do you think about wiping the cold out of my eye? Is that have you ever heard that?
No, but I get exactly what he means.
Is he sick? Like a sick cold or cold like...
No, I took it to mean like actual cold.
Why aren't you sleeping warmer?
Can't have heat.
I guess not. It sounds like there's a lot of heat. He was in the gambling spot and he heard the intricate plot about people trying to take him down, like flypaper. They just want his money, and he might pay for it with his life if it weren't for this warning. That's a good friend. Hey, if you ever hear about any plots against my life, you tell me, right?
Unless I was planning them, yeah, of course.
Oh, good. I think that's good. The song ends with Biggie and his accomplice. They got red dots on their foreheads. They are getting targeted.
As one does.
That's right.
You sure it's not just somebody with like a laser pointer?
I mean, the 2 gunshots at the end kind of imply that it's not just somebody with a laser pointer. But of course, that leads pretty smoothly, conceptually, into a nice title track.
Title track!
Ready to Die. Remember, again, not by suicide, but ready to die in the sense that he's just ready to put his life on the line every day for the things that he does and he believes in and he enjoys. This song's got a nice little, this feels like quintessential 90s hip-hop with the wow, wow, wow. This is so good. It's hazy, it's wobbly. And you hear here, like Teflon's the material. We talked about how he wanted to name the album Teflon Dawn. He's hiding references to that all throughout.
As one does.
The pair of lines that goes, I've got techniques dripping out my butt cheeks, sleep on my stomach so I don't,
Mm-hmm.
Incredible wordplay.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. He's ready to die and nobody can save him. It's a pretty chill song. But, I mean, again, as always, he's just yelling. But the music behind him is really chill. How do you feel about the length of all these songs? These aren't bite-sized little songs. They're pushing 4 minutes, all of them so far, except for, like, the intro.
I really haven't hated the length.
Okay.
It's been fun.
Great. It is a pretty long album in the traditional sense. But, yeah, I don't mind it so much either. Up next, a song that hits almost 5 minutes. One More Chance.
This one was a little long.
It's a little long. I think you think that because It's another concept sort of piece. Biggie's fictional daughter calls his answering machine and he says, hey, mom says stop having these girls call. Like, it's a mess. And then all these other voicemails come in of women that Biggie has let down and wronged and stuff. And so it's just a song all about Biggie's relationship to the ladies, and they all just say, give me one more chance. Like, they're begging him. Honestly, he's a little full of himself, a little braggadocious.
Yeah, well, just a little bit.
And if you think it's bad here, just wait, because there's more. But really, it's just a song all about, like, physical connection and sex, and he just doesn't want anything more than that. These women are trying to have a relationship or more than a one-night stand, and Biggie says no. The song's got a lot of remixes, definitely some single versions, but the album version is this one with the answering machine. The single debuted at number 1 on the hip hop charts and number 5 on the Hot 100. At the time, a number 5 debut on the Hot 100 was tied with Michael Jackson for the highest debut ever.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, right? 1994, and we were still only debuting at number 5. Although Michael Jackson would go on to smash that record 1 month later with a number 1 debut. So that's fun pub trivia for you. If anyone ever asks you who the first person to debut at number 1 on the Billboard charts was, as far as singles go, you could say Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's a great little trivia fact. I can't believe we probably talked about that on his episode.
I don't know. It was so long ago. We probably didn't, because we definitely structured the whole podcast a little differently back then. And we spent 45 minutes talking about the animals he keeps in his backyard.
Important things to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know if we all got all the way around to it. But One More Chance is certified platinum. It samples Hydra by Grover Washington Jr. And fittingly, it interpolates I Want You Back by the Jackson 5.
Oh.
Little Michael Jackson in this song as well. The remixes of the song, they keep the lyrics the same, but they cut out the intro part, they add parts from Faith Evans, and they change the entire sound of the track around. Like, it's virtually unrecognizable sonically. I looked up a few different versions of it, like the hip-hop remix and the Faith Evans. There's just so many, and they're all vastly different than the One More Chance we hear here.
I really like the chorus of One More Chance with all the ladies singing Give Me One More Chance or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very catchy.
It takes an awful long time to get there.
It does, but it's catchy when you finally do.
Yes. On the music video for this song, it features a smattering of icons. Everyone including Queen Latifah, Faith Evans, D-Nice, Mary J. Blige, Kid Capri. Lots of people make it into the music video. And like you said, like, this is Biggie's debut album.
Uh-huh.
He's already the guy in the East Coast hip-hop world. He's at the top of the game right from the jump. And he's 23! Like, that's unreal. I just can't even believe it. Up next, an interlude with a vulgar name. It's, believe it or not actually as vulgar, as I now know, as some later songs on this album. This one's fake. Unlike the end of Respect, allegedly, this interlude is fake.
Really?
It's Biggie and Lil' Kim pretending to live up to the song's title. I don't know. I don't make any 100% claims to know that it's fake, given what the Mixtaper has told us today.
Yeah. I don't know if you take anything at face value anymore.
No. Some people take some things at face value. That is not me.
Oof.
All I'm saying is that there's evidence that this one was fake, and that they made the noises sitting on a piano bench in the studio, fully decent, and just acting it up. At one point, they fell off the piano bench, and that's the part in the song, if you can call it a song, where they fall off the bed and they're laughing. It's goofy.
Yeah. Again, on a debut album.
It's a bold choice.
Some studios said, yeah, we'll do that.
Put it out. Yeah, well, because the studio was Diddy.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm surprised he didn't make more of this.
You know what? Yeah, my mistake.
Diddy was the record label. I mean, Biggie answers to no one. So, yeah.
Hey, you know what I really like about it, though? I like that he apologizes at the end when he, like, drops her or something. There's a part where he goes, I'm sorry. I was just like, oh, that's nice. He apologized.
I think that's the part where they fall off the thing.
Yeah.
There's like 3 buckets you could put all the songs on this album into, because there's the gangster life songs, the ready to die, like emotional, heavy songs. Then there's the braggadocious songs, like, yeah, I'm Biggie, like the One More Chance, and
Yep.
you know, Big Poppa, and a few of these other ones. And then there's just these songs that are so goofy, and there's not many of them, but this interlude, and I mean the eventual track, the Just Playin' song, and a few others just are silly. And I think it gives this album a lot of depth and color. Like, this is just Biggie singing about his life and all of its facets. It's not just one emotional note all the way through. Up next, we talked about how Biggie's done a lot of the voicing on this album. He's played 2 characters. The What is a song that really does have two voices, and you probably recognized the second one.
Method Man?
Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
We talked about them and all 39 of their chambers back on episode 117, and now Meth is back. This song is called The What because of kind of a random accident. They didn't know what to call it. They slapped that title on the demo recording so they could identify it, know what was on the tape. The What? And that's what stuck. So that's what the song is, The What. I love Method Man. He's such an interesting character. And their voices go really well together. I think they complement each other very well. What did you think about Method Man? Was he better? Wu-Tang Clan is notoriously one of your lowest scoring episodes of all time. Is this a little Method Man redemption in the year of redemption, or is this another strikeout?
I did like his feature here. I mean, I think probably liked him on the original one, even though his band score didn't do as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I liked his feature.
Yeah, me too. I like The What. It's a good one. I don't have too much to say about it.
Yeah, it's no Juicy, though.
It is no Juicy. Wow. The single that started it all. This is Biggie's first single, debut album. It was produced by Diddy and half of the duo Trackmasters. It samples a song called Juicy Fruit, instrumental mix by M. Tume. But Juicy has really gone down as one of the genre's greatest of all time. Like, this is in the rap pantheon. It's 6 times platinum in the US. Juicy topped the Hot Rap Singles chart and went to number 27 on the Hot 100. And this is kind of in the same vein as Things Done Changed. He's talking about growing up and his journey to the top of the game. It was all a dream when I was a kid. This was my dream. I grew up reading these hip-hop magazines, and I was just aspiring to be where I am today. And here we are. He makes it all the way through. He chronicles his journey over this really bright, ringing background with an awesome beat. The bass is awesome, too. What did you think about Juicy?
I was just about to tell you my favorite, probably, I don't know if it's my favorite lyric, but there's a lot of really good lyrics in here. But there was just something about now honeys play me close like butter play toast.
Yes.
That just really stuck with me.
Remarkable. Well, it's funny because some of the lyrics in this song inspired some conspiracy theories.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, there's a part early in the song where he sings, "Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade."
Oh, no.
That line had about a 6-year shelf life.
Yeah.
After 2001, they had to reevaluate that one. They edited it out of even like radio versions of the song for a while. It made its way back, I think, in like 2011 something. But yeah. But obviously, this song came out in 1993, 4. Like, what's the deal?
Took time to plan it.
That's what people have said. That's the conspiracy theory. Is that like, oh, Biggie must have had inside information about 9/11? That's ludicrous.
That's why he was shot.
He knew too much. That's literally what people say.
He was going to expose it.
That's literally
He was going to expose it.
what some people have said.
Tupac tried first, and they got him, and then they tied up the other loose end.
Yeah. No, it's a reference to the first time the World Trade Center was bombed. Or I don't even know if it's the first, but definitely the previous most prominent.
So yeah, but it sure did get overshadowed a few years later.
Boy. Yeah. So that's wild. That's kind of a partial bit of Juicy's reputation. But wow, it's so good. If you don't know, now you know. And the chorus is inspiring. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars.
Yeah.
I've heard so many of these lines referenced in other songs too. No need to worry, my accountant handles that.
Ooh, I also like the lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool because I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. And it's still all good.
Yes. Yeah, he starts the whole song out by saying this album's dedicated to the teachers that told me I'd never amount to nothing. Mm-hmm. And of course, my mind now instantly flashes back to the teacher that said, you're going to pick up all the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back and said, actually, even garbage collectors make more than you. And look at him.
Yeah.
He didn't have to pick up garbage, and he makes a lot more than his teacher, sadly, ever will.
Did you ever have a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis?
My grandparents had a Sega Genesis. Loved it. No Super Nintendo, though.
What about a 50-inch screen or a money green leather sofa?
Well, I mean, no. I don't think I have either of those things. I think the cumulative dimensions of the screens that I own definitely covers 50 inches, but...
You know, you could argue by this metric of success, more successful than Biggie. I got an 80-inch screen.
Oh, just simply by this one metric.
Yeah. You know, if you focus only on this one straw man of a metric.
Screen size.
What about, you got 2 rides? Maybe a limousine with a chauffeur?
No.
Or chauffeur, in order to make it rhyme with sofa?
Hey, I mean, it's slant rhymes, they work.
Hey, but I know we all feel the pain of having a phone bill, Not quite 2 G's flat, but boy, are they expensive.
Yeah. And I do need to worry. I don't have an accountant.
I'm about to.
Birthdays were the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we're thirsty. It's funny because he sings about all these successes that he has now compared to the strife when he was younger. And then he kind of goes on to elaborate on the strife in everyday struggle. We kind of get the highs, the mountaintops of where he's at now. And then we kind of take a step back to where he's been in the next track. Everyday struggle, it's all about the life of a drug lord, or at least a drug dealer. It's that raw, realistic picture of the lifestyle that the critics were talking about. And again, right on theme with the album, right away, I don't want to live no more. I hear death knocking at my front door. It's honest and raw and intense.
Yep.
I'm living every day like a hustle, another drug to juggle, another day, another struggle, another rock to sell. People look at you like you're the user, selling drugs to all the losers.
It's an everyday struggle.
For some. And then the mashed potatoes get thrown away, and everything is just the worst.
Ooh.
I like Everyday Struggle. It's a long song. 5 minutes and 20 seconds on this one, but I like it well enough. It actually ends up being the second longest song on this album, and the only reason it's the second longest song is because of some things that we bleeped out earlier in the episode on respect. So that's fun. Up next, another song with a questionable title, just like the interlude. Me and My Butterscotch is the word that we've taken to calling it.
Yes, butterscotch.
But it starts with a B, ends with a TCH, just like butterscotch. It's kind of an odd, hypothetical song about Biggie's ideal woman. They create a sample from a Minnie Riperton song called Take a Little Trip. It's written by Stevie Wonder, though, and Stevie Wonder vetoed that sample because of the song's profanity and subject matter. Stevie Wonder said, no, thank you. I don't want my song to be affiliated with Me and My Butterscotch. So they reworked their initial idea into what the song is today. The beginning kind of reminds me of that Meatloaf song, where he's like, would you offer your throat to the wolf? And they go, yeah. This is how it feels to me. I don't know. There's some absolutely unhinged lyrics here. You look so good. I mean, Biggie talks about how he's going to do some things that he's never felt before in his life because she looks so good. But they get married. They move in together. But things get tense when jealousy comes up, suspicion arises, and at the end of the song, she ends up deceased. It's not great, but what a storytelling piece. The reason she ends up dead is because she's the closest one to Biggie. It's a targeted attack to kind of get under his skin. And it works. He says, they killed my best friend.
Yeah, I am a big fan of butterscotch. Don't get me wrong. But in this specific context of butterscotch, not my cup of butterscotch.
Okay.
Not my thing. Not a big fan of this one.
Yeah, that's fair. It's another song like The What that I enjoy when I'm listening to it, but then, I mean, it's immediately overshadowed by what comes next, and that is Big Poppa. Another Biggie nickname has entered the fray, and he loves it when you call him that.
Does he?
Which is an ironic thing for the song to say, because Biggie actually doesn't even like Big Poppa that much.
Yeah. I feel like he doesn't.
Yeah, I know. It's the last one he cut for the record. He never really loved it. But honestly, why not?
It's a good one.
I think he doesn't like it because it's not like a hard song. So many of these songs are a lot harder than this. And this one's got a little more pop sensibility. It's a little more crossover friendly for the general audience. And Juicy, too. That's why they made those the singles, is because they had a little mass appeal. But man, Big Poppa's cool. It samples Between the Sheets by the Isley Brothers, and oddly enough, for being an East Coast icon, it's a very West Coast inspired sound and flow. And I feel like kind of that's intentional because in my estimation, it's like he's trying to say he's Big Poppa to the West Coast guys too. He says, look, I'm at the top of my game, and if I wanted to be, I could be at the top of your game. I think that's pretty cool. That's a real statement.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, you can call me Big Poppa. A sort of like Who's Your Daddy-esque song. The song was nominated for a Grammy for Best Rap Solo Performance. You might be like, how did it not win? It's one of the greatest rap songs of all time. Well, it lost to Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise.
I see.
So, who can blame him? It's a tough year for the Best Rap Solo Performance Grammy. But today, Big Poppa is certified 6 times platinum and was Biggie's first top 10 hit on the Hot 100, where it went to number 6. In 2017, it was Rolling Stone's 52nd greatest hip-hop song of all time. And in 2024, it was number 331 for all genres.
Oh.
I love it. It's a really interesting sound. It's another song that's kind of like laid back and chill. like Ready to Die, but it's got the pop sensibilities of Juicy.
Sure.
Good blend.
That's what I say about my hot chocolate.
This is a good blend.
Yeah.
Or do you call your hot chocolate Big Poppa?
No, I'm Big Poppa with my cup of hot chocolate.
Goodness. Yeah.
In my Hugh Hefner robe. Big old mug of
Whoa,
hot chocolate.
Do you have a Hugh Hefner robe?
I think it's just a normal bathrobe, but
it looks like Hugh Hefner? That's wild. And when you sip your hot chocolate, does it sound like the end of the song Respect?
the end of Respect?
Yeah.
No, that's more like when I'm eating.
Gross. Well, Respect is up next. It's the story of Biggie's life in explicit detail. Emphasis on the explicit. I would have really assumed it was fake. I mean, the other one was fake. Why couldn't this one be fake? I don't even like listening to this song now. I just can't. I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, again, it's not the most reliable source, so, you can choose to just believe otherwise.
But there's a seed of doubt now.
Yeah.
So that stinks.
I do like the song, though.
I do. The song before the end is awesome.
I like the beat.
Is another nostalgia trip that walks through his life. Verse 1, his conception and birth. Verse 2, his teenage years on the drug scene. Verse 3, then present day 1994. New Horizons, rap, women, the life. Respect is a cool storytelling song. And it ends that way just because. It's literally not even related to the song. Unless you consider it like, all of his talk about women and how he gets women now.
He just happened to actually be, in a position, and it's like, let's keep it.
Anyway, moving on. Without further ado, let's talk about one of the least popular songs on the album, Friend of Mine. In streams, it is third only to the intro and the F Me interlude. So it's down there.
Yeah.
It's the lowest song for stream count.
Yep.
But it's just a song. Biggie's attitude towards women has deteriorated after some negative experiences, some cheating, some distrust. And that's why nowadays he says he's totally sex focused. That's all it is. That's all he wants. That's literally all the song is.
Yeah, I can understand why it's the lowest.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, narrative nuance.
It's not a lot to get behind.
Yeah, right. That's true. Good drum beat.
Yeah, that's true.
I think his flow is impressive. I don't like the content.
This is a good spot to mention something I've already kind of mentioned, but call it out again. He does a really good job of using background singers.
Yes.
Just about this whole album.
It's true.
The way he introduces them in.
Yeah, as like characters.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people come on as background people and be themselves, except for Method Man.
Yeah.
Everyone else kind of is like behind the fourth wall of the song. Even when we get down to Suicidal Thoughts and Diddy makes an appearance himself, he's a character in the scenario of the song. That's true. Biggie's got some good world building going on.
Yeah.
Now, how much of the world he's building is truly his own lived experience and how much of it is sensationalized and fictional? Hard to say, but it definitely is interesting. Up next, another song that I really like, but it was another late cut that almost didn't make the album altogether, and that's Unbelievable.
Really? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think I just like the skippy kind of nature of it, the way they cut up mid-lyric. Biggie Smalls is the illest. Like the Unbelievable sample that they cut up and chop around. It's just fun. I think it's just an interesting little hook. The instrumentation behind it, it kind of feels like, we talked about the Sega Genesis. Kind of feels like a Sega Genesis game, like the soundtrack to Toe Jam and Earl or something. And I just think that's fun. Kind of coasting us towards the end of the proper album. Suicidal Thoughts is up last. It's another skit and song blended together into one. It's Biggie calling Diddy, unloading all these heavy thoughts and feelings late at night. And so Diddy's kind of on there just as a normal person, responding normally, and then Biggie playing himself in his own head. He's rapping at him in the middle of the night. And it's a dark kind of song here. The gunshot comes at the end of this album. Biggie's saying a lot of intense things, and Diddy's on his way. He's going to get in the car and go over to help him out, try and talk him down. The gunshot comes, and then there's this heartbeat that fades out. Diddy's yelling, "Ayo, Big," and so we can infer bad things have happened. They end the album like that, which is, by the way, a really interesting end to this album that started at birth, and it ends with this suicidal thought. But it's how they start his next album, too, Life After Death. I think it's a really interesting way to tie the two together. Ready to Die, he lives, he ends the album dying, and then Life After Death, he starts the album in this moment where he's died, and then we kind of build from there. So it's a neat little bit of continuity. Again, taking on a really deeper meaning after Biggie's murder in between the records. But yeah, what did you think about Suicidal Thoughts?
Never have them.
Okay, that's great, but what about this song?
I like that it's a shorter one.
Yeah.
It kind of flew by. I mean, it's our shortest track since the Interlude that we've had. It's the shortest track on the album. Oh, no, sorry, the last track's just a little shorter. I don't think I like this version of Biggie songs compared to some of his. This one feels a little too stripped back.
Oh, he's not yelling. For the first time on the album, Biggie's not yelling. And it's because this song is really contemplative.
Yeah, yell at me, Biggie.
Yell at me, Biggie. Yeah.
I wanted that on a t-shirt. It's been a while since I've asked for a t-shirt.
I know. So you hear the gunshot at the end of the song. You hear this thud, this body drops. To get that sound, Biggie literally fell down in the studio. One of the song's engineers, Prince Charles Alexander, said, Puffy and I told Biggie to go in there, and to his credit, he's a trooper. He was a really great guy. We turned off the lights, and we played the music, and we said, Biggie, when the gun shoots, just fall. Just fall as hard as you can. He said, man, that gun went off, and we heard the biggest flippin' thud you ever want to hear in your life. We started rolling. We thought it was hilarious. So that's really him just taking a dive. And that's where the normal album ends. The suicide implication. The last two tracks that we're going to talk about are bonus tracks on the remaster, but at least half worth talking about because the first of them is the iconic Who Shot Ya?
Who Shot Ya?
Who Shot Ya was released on February 21st, 1995. It was an alternate B-side to Big Poppa, and like we mentioned way back in the beginning part of the episode, people took this song as a taunt, provoking Tupac after he was attacked in an attempted robbery. Biggie maintained that the song was always about two drug dealers and had no relation to the rivalry whatsoever, but man, what an unfortunate coincidence if that's the case. What did you think of Who Shot Ya? Did it live up to the hype that the context of the feud kind of puts on it?
I really like Who Shot Ya.
Oh, you think it lived up to the hype then?
I did.
Okay.
Did you not?
I think it's fine. I don't know. I like some of his other work better than this. And honestly, and maybe this is sacrilege to say on the Biggie episode, I think Tupac's comeback track that he fired back at this was also stronger than this.
To be fair, I haven't heard that, so.
Yeah, it's intense, but what a song. It samples David Porter's I'm Afraid the Masquerade is Over from 1971. That also doesn't help beat the allegations. Singing about the masquerade being over when his friendship with Tupac ends in gunfire. I don't know. Apparently, it was originally intended to be the intro track to a Mary J. Blige album, that beat was, but it got rejected because it was too hard for Mary J. Blige. But yeah, I'm partial to Hit 'Em Up, although I see the appeal of Who Shot Ya, and I would maintain that it's almost certainly not about Tupac. I don't know. I think Biggie would have made a meaner song if it was about Tupac.
Yeah, honestly, I hadn't considered that. Like, the it's not mean enough argument is probably pretty valid.
Yeah, it's like, I just think it would be more targeted. I mean, because Tupac's sure is targeted. But honestly, I think that song should have closed out the whole collection when you're adding them onto the remaster. Because up next, this whole experience of the remastered album closes with just playing, parentheses, Dreams. And it's just, the more I listen to it, the less I like it. And that's rare, because that's the opposite of the case for most of these other songs. But just playing here, Biggie name drops female rappers and R&B singers, and he says what he would do to them. Oh, haha, so hilarious. He's just playing, so that makes it all okay. It's kind of gross. It was deemed one of the funniest rap songs by Complex Magazine, but I don't know about it. He throws out names like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Tina Turner, Shaka Khan. Weirdly, he talks about Raven Simone, who was literally like 9 or 10 years old at the time. A kid, literally a kid. RuPaul is mentioned in here. It's just a song I don't like. But it samples James Brown's Blues and Pants. And he's the godfather of soul. So it does have that going for it, but not much else. What did you think about Dreams?
Yeah, it shouldn't be here.
No.
It shouldn't be here. It needs to go away. Like, I don't even think it needs to be on the album. Like at first I was like, we could just rearrange it, but it's like, no, just go away.
It's just gone. That'd be better. I really do think this album is better, I mean, the original way, which obviously we're not like rating the remastered version. That's not how he designed the album to be.
Mm-hmm.
But still, worth talking about the last little bit, Who Shot Ya and the like. But I suppose we should get into some final spin, see if our scores for the album will be Biggie or Smalls. My score for the album is alright, and hopefully it doesn't make me too notorious. I'm giving the music an 83. I love some good samples. This album has a really nice vibe to it. Biggie's got a great flow. I love his intensity. The hooks are really hooky. When there are hooks. I think a lot of songs don't really stick you that deep. But 83 for the music. Given the lyrics in 84, there are some gratuitous moments on this album. There's some vulgar moments on the album. It's rap. It's Biggie. What are you going to do? It's there. But I really do. His rhyme scheme is incredible. His storytelling and world building is fantastic. So 84 on the lyrics. 82 on the instruments and production. The skits. Man, there's a lot of skits on this record. And the overall vibe, giving it an 80. So, Ready to Die gets an overall score from me of an 83.6. That lands it on my ranking list at a respectable number 524.
Out of?
Again, sounds like a rough number, but there's like 1,000 albums on there. 900. It's above Moondance by Van Morrison. It's below Whoever's in New England by Reba, as far as episodes we've done. So there you go. That's what I think about Ready to Die. My playlist pick, first choice would be Juicy.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little predictable, but what an iconic song.
That's good, because I'll go ahead and give you mine. It's my first Connor top 3.
Ooh, what, your first?
Give me the loot!
Oh, you're taking Gimme The Loot. I thought you might take Big Poppa.
No, give me the loot. I just really like that song. I just have myself going around all day saying give me the loot after listening to this album.
Give me the loot, give me the loot.
Give me the loot.
You can say it about anything. Anything that you want given to you.
I know.
Give me the second top 3, give me the second top 3.
The second one, Warning.
Oh, really? More than Machine Gun Funk? You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I told you it was easy to eliminate. And Warning's going to be the honorable mention, actually.
Gotcha, okay.
Because then we're going Juicy and Big Poppa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a front-loaded top 3.
I mean, I go all the way down to 13, but yeah, out of 18 tracks. Listen, I like some of the stuff towards the end. It's actually, they're pretty spread out. I mean, other than Give Me the Loot and Warning being close together, they're pretty spread out.
That's true.
I'm giving this one a Biggie score of 7 mistaken mashed potatoes out of 10.
7 mistaken mashed potatoes. That's good. That's really good. A 7 for this album is better than I thought. I wasn't even sure that you'd like it a ton.
It was a Biggie score. This is my era of rap.
That's what I was gonna say. You said it's your era of rap, and you proved it.
It almost warranted an 8, but just didn't quite get there.
One too many explicit activities for the 8.
Yeah.
It was a little too 6 and a little too 9 to get an 8.
Yeah, so this one's gonna get a 7, and it's gonna go. I'm actually putting it right above Childish Gambino. So pretty high in the 7s.
Whoa. So Biggie Smalls is still not good enough to top the Wellerman, huh?
Listen, I mean, pretty hard to beat some deep bass folk sea shanties.
You're talking about sea shanties?
Yeah.
Comparing Biggie Smalls to sea shanties?
Yeah.
I don't know where to begin. That's fantastic.
So let's see. Playlist pick, score, unit, top 3. I think I'm done.
I think you're done. That's true. And so too should we be.
The Notorious D-O-N-E.
Notorious C-O-N-D-O-G is D-O-N-E. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to this episode. Hope it left you feeling Biggie and not feeling small.
Hey, my heart is Biggie knowing that you made it all the way through this episode.
That's right. If you want more Spin It content, you know what to do. Get a parent's permission and go online to www.spinitpod.com or check out our social media.
Even if you're like 42.
Good luck.
Go find a parent. Doesn't even have to be yours. Doesn't even have to be yours. Just find a parent.
Just a parent's. Go get a parent's permission. Reasonable. I guess if you're a parent, then get your own permission. Is that kind of a loophole?
No, that's conflict of interest. That's conflict of interest. Now, if you're a parent, go ask your other half. That is also supposedly a parent.
Oh.
That would count.
Okay.
But you can't ask yourself.
Right. Logical. Anyway, go to our social media, @SpinItPodOfficial on Instagram and @SpinItPod on X. We'll post about this album and many more. You'll know what album's coming out next week. Drop a follow, drop a like, drop a comment, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks.
Tell a friend about the podcast.
Ooh, an idea.
You should tell... Oh, who's worth telling this week?
Tell a friend you're not in a heated coast-to-coast rivalry with.
No, you know what? That's a good point. Tell your biggest rival about the podcast this week.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, don't let what happened to Biggie and Tupac happen to you. We're putting good into the world. Crossing coastal lines to mend relationships and tear down walls. That's good. Well, we'll see you next time. Probably fewer people will be murdered in the next episode, but we can't say for sure. Until we see you next.
Keep spinning.
What other adjectives could you kind of put together into a really good rap name like this? Biggie Smalls.
Do they have to be like opposites of one another?
I think that was the way that they work really well. They don't have to be opposites, I guess.
It's a really good question.
Tall Shorty or something.
Tall Shorty? I
Yeah.
feel like there's something there. Shorty's good. I don't know about tall.
Shorty Talls. He covers Biggie Smalls songs.
Oh, no. Hang on. If you want something like that, Tiny Colossus.
Tiny Colossus. Wow.
Yeah. Other non-height or size. The Loud Silence.
Oh.
Some of these are just better song titles than I'm thinking of.
Quiet Loudy.
Quiet Loudy. What do they all...
Because I'm just doing it Biggie Smalls style.
Fully Empty.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I know what yours would be.
Oh, no. I don't know if I want to know.
Pretty Ugly.
Whoa.
Shots fired. I just started a new rivalry.
Yeah, watch your back.